Hey, hey, it's another day. Uh, Today, we're going to get back on the 31. I got the bracket in for the alternator. Um, what else are we going to do? Put the alternator on, maybe get the starter on. I think I have figured out how to wire the coil and the distributor. Not sure if I'll do that on this one or not. But I want to get the alternator on, the alternator bracket and alternator on, and I want to get the radiator and the grill and all that mounted up and in place. So I think if I can get the alternator and the grill and the radiator and all mounted, I think that would be pretty good, because I think that will change the looks of the whole thing, getting the grill and all mounted, because that's a big part of this car. And he bought a 32 grill to go on the 31. So he got the splash apron for the 32 grill and the grill and all that to go on here. So I think that'll look pretty good, and we'll see what it's going to look like. So y'all stick around with me, and hey, maybe we can get some stuff done, get this thing a little closer to being able to fire up and maybe move under its own power. That would be a wonderful thing. So hang loose for just a minute. I'm going to get you set up, and I'm going to get the bracket and all that together, and some tools, and we'll get to work. So stick with me. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Y'all watch me open this package up. Just like everything else I got, I don't guess it's too hard to assemble, because no instructions. So let's see if I can figure this crap out. But that's kind of the way it's been going with the stuff that I've been getting that he's ordered. Nothing comes with instructions. And I'm a dummy. I need instructions. I do know that this goes down here. I'm thinking, yep, it goes like that. Now, does it go like that, or does it go like that? That's a good question. That's a really good question, isn't it? Which way does that go? Or does this go like that? Okay. Let's see. Or does that go down there? Like that? No, I think that... Well, you know what? Let's refer to the internet, because the internet at least had a picture of this thing. Let's see. Let's see. Did I keep that or not? Maybe I did not. Okay. Let's go to low, small block Chevy alternator bracket. Okay, that would be it right there, or at least something close and similar. Okay, so I do good with pictures, so that's gonna go like so. All right. And the 3 spacers. There's 1, 2. Oh wait. No, 2 spacers. Okay, there we go. 2 spacers. So, let's see what we got here on spacers. Let's see what we got here on bolts. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Right. According to pictures, should be, let's see, are these all the same length? Those are all the same length. Okay. So, got a washer. Goes through that. Another washer. Goes through that. Like so. And then, let's see, that's one. That's one. There's a nut. I think it goes with that. Nut goes with that. And there's two more washers, three more washers. Okay. So, it would appear this goes on here, and this goes on here, and this goes like this. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh no, I got it backwards. Hang on, I got it backwards. I got pictures and can't even follow direction. It goes like this. So, one here, one here. Man, I got to pay attention. And then this goes here, and that goes there. And that should, uh-oh, Houston, we might have a problem. Which was the only thing I was scared of. That goes right there. And that goes right there. Alternator's gonna go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's try something different. Let's pull this loose. Okay. Ah. Where'd my bracket go? There it is. Ah. Okay. Okay. Oh, taste, Becky. Let's see. Alright. And then this goes here. Do that. And I do this. Washer. And the nut. Maybe I can fit this in there. Do you think it's going to work? I can tell you what I think right now. And I'm not highly optimistic at the moment. So, will it fit? Will it fit? Will it fit? Oh. Come on, work with me. What are we doing? Not sure that's gonna work. Not sure that's gonna work because it's hitting the steering gear. Okay. That won't work at all. And the main reason why that's not going to work is because it's hitting where the main hot wire hooks up, and I don't think I can space that out. Man, oh man. Maybe I could get a longer bolt and space that out to even up with this pulley, and maybe I can make it work. But I gotta space that away from the block, so I'm gonna have to have a longer bolt to go through to do that. See, that's going to be like that. Right? No, that's not even going to line up. Nope, it's not going to fit. Nope. I'm hitting the brake line in the frame right there. So that's a big negative. Huh. How can I make that fit? Is there any way? Because that is going to hit the block. And it hits the steering gear down there and the frame. I'm going to have to try and reroute that brake line, but it's not going to be enough room. It's still going to hit the frame even if I move that brake line. And he doesn't want one that's mounted up here, because all the ones that mount up here are way up high. And his water pump is not set up for the other bracket that fits on this side. I know how we fix it. Put a different water pump on is how we fix it. Because we puts this is a race car water pump, and I guess it's high flow and all that stuff. But on a regular water pump, it has 2 additional holes right here that are threaded for the other kind of bracket that he had. So an alternator would mount up here and work off of that bracket and this hole right here, and then there's a bung down here on the bottom where the adjustment arm would be. So, well, I tell you what, let me pause and call him and see what he wants to do. Because this is not gonna work. Not gonna work at all. And gotta have an alternator of some kind. And it's gonna have to go on this side of the motor. And to go on that side of the motor, you gotta have a different water pump. There's no other option that I can see. So let me pause here, call him, and back up and punt. So give me a minute. Okay, after some deep conversation and trying to figure this out, I have been back and forth from one side to the other with this alternator trying to figure this out. And I'm not sure what I'm missing, what I may be doing wrong, but when he gets off of work, hopefully tomorrow, he's going to come by and we're going to take a look at this together and try and figure out what he wants to do, because the low slung one, there's not enough room for that alternator in there. It's hitting the steering gear, it's hitting the frame. Trying to put one somewhere else. It's going to require possibly another water pump. And there is one alternative, but he doesn't like it because it sits up kind of high and hangs out and isn't that attractive, I guess you would say. So he's going to come by. We're going to look at this and see if we can figure out what he wants to do, and then I'll let you know about this alternator situation in the grill. So what I'm going to do is we're going to back up and punt, and instead of messing with the alternator and the grill and the radiator and all of that, I'm going to go to working on installing the bucket seats. So we have to back up and regroup. So I've screwed around and it's later in the day now. So I'm going to call it a day because I'm kind of aggravated with this alternator issue. And so tomorrow I'm going to come back and we're going to jump on installation of the seats and try and get them mounted and in place, and then mount the steering column and see what else I can do after that. But we'll make that our goal for tomorrow. So seats and steering column installation. Hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully that works. So we'll go from there. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. If you'd hit that like and share and subscribe and comment and all that kind of stuff, that would be wonderful. So, and continue to watch my misery, because you know, Chevrolet, it's supposed to be easy. Everything fits the Chevrolet from one to the other. Yeah, not for me. So until tomorrow, I'll see you then. Okay, guys, it's the next day. You know, when you get aggravated with something and you get frustrated and can't think straight sometimes and all that, that's kind of what happened to me yesterday. But I came out here this morning real quick. Mark's going to come by and take a look at what we got going on, because I was so frustrated I couldn't figure this out. But what I have figured out is if I take, and I got me a string for a reference, just make sure the pulleys all line up straight or whatever. But I have a little heim joint on the back side, and I think I can put a heim joint here with this spacer, and it'll be strong enough to tighten that up, and I can run a tensioner rod under here, which will pull that tight, and will clear everything back here. Won't be on any electrical stuff on the back. So I think that might work, but I'm gonna let him come look at it and tell me if he wants to do that. I think the tension rods, I looked it up online, they're like 16, 18 bucks, something like that. And he wants to get a new fuel pump also, because this one's kind of old and he doesn't know how well it works, or he doesn't remember what the fuel pressure is on it and all that stuff. So he's not running anything that needs any kind of high fuel pressure. So I think he's just gonna get him a new one. So I'll wait for that to come in to finish this up and get the grill on. So today we're gonna shift gears and go to the interior and see about getting the seats mounted. So that's what I'm going to work on. Right now they're just sitting in there, and they're not flat on the, there's a bar running across the bottom down here, so they're not in there where they're sitting flat. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get this mounted. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to set y'all up on the other side while I'm on this side, and we'll get going. So here we go. So let's see what we got with these seats. right now I got them in a situation where, let's see, I need to make sure this is all the way back. But you can see this bar right here is part of the floor support running across there. So I need to elevate this mounting setup. Like this back. And I'm trying not to take this plastic off because I don't want to get the seats all dirty and nasty. So, but let's see. Okay, that's as far, that's all the way back. Mounting hole, let's see. All right, that's about what? That's about 1 inch. Let me see if I got. Let me see if I got some 1-inch tubing that I can lay across there, and I can bolt the tubing down. And I'll need 2 pieces, I guess, because I'll need a piece in the back also. Well, no, if I lean the seat back a little bit. Let me get the tubing on the front first. And get the front bolted down. And then see what we got. So, stand by. Okay, what I done, I had to go, I'm at a square stop. So I had to go scavenge some of my scrap to find enough to do this with. So I cut me 2 pieces. These will go in the back. I have 2 shorter pieces, and I don't need a piece to go all the way across, because if you look right here, I drew a line. That's where the front of the rail is going to sit, and I marked a hole right here. So I'm going to measure on the other side, square it up, draw a line for the other seat, and drill this mount. Then I'm going to take the seats out, and I'm going to mount these. I'm actually going to drill some holes through these and mount these on the back side of the rails and set them in. And I'm going to I'll drill and mount them, then I'm going to drill me 2 holes in here to mount to the floor. And then on the front, for the center, I'm going to set both seats in with 1 bolt in it on each side, and this mounted in the back. And then I'm going to set this in between the rails. Want to work with me. Okay. So that's going to sit like that. Okay. When it bolts down, this is going to fit in the center. And the rail on this side will bolt, or the rail on this side will bolt here, and the inner rail on the other seat will bolt here. And then I'll make a mounting point. I'll drill 2 in the center and make it where it mounts to the floor. That way they should sit level and be secured to the floor. So that's what I'm trying to get done. So I'm going to pull this seat out and measure to the other side, set the other seat in, make sure it looks in the right place, and then get to drilling some stuff out. So here we go. Okay, what I did, took my measurement, took my ruler, I laid it on the line over there. I measured here, made sure it was the same over here, made my mark, And I'd measured for my hole on this side and the hole on this side. I got those marked out. So now I'm going to drill a hole through here. Hopefully I can reach that. And I have to figure out where it goes through the floor. But I'm going to drill a hole through here and see where it goes out the bottom. I bet you. Let me see if I can get this up. Trying to see if it's going to be on the frame or not. It's not going to be on the frame. It doesn't appear. So there's my frame bolt. There's my frame bolt. It's going to have to go through that apron right there. Maybe. Well, one thing to do is drill it out. Stand by. Alright, let's drill this little pilot hole there in the middle. Yeah, that's the apron right there. Tell you what I guess I'm going to do on that. Maybe I'll clean this up, drill that out and weld a nut in there. What you think about that? Because I don't want to drill through the apron. I don't know what else is under there. Let's do that. Let me drill that out for a 3/8 nut, and then we'll bolt the seat down to that 3/8 nut, and then we'll check on the rest of it. So stand by, let me get my stuff together. Alright, what I got done, I drilled the holes out. Got me a couple of nuts. Set this in here. Weld that in. It set where I was welding some 5/16 the other day. That's not good. Got to check that, didn't I? That'll work right there. Let's yeah, that's more better. that weld a little too close. Right, it's coming out of there kind of hard. Keeping the right kind of wrench, I'd be better off, wouldn't it? Yeah, I gotta run the tap right there and clean that up just a little bit. See if I can get the nut on this and hold that in place. Goes on there just like that. I did a better job on that one. Okay. Clean that up, set the seats. Let me tell you what. I need to drill some holes and put these on the seats to set them in the back. Yeah, let me do that. So give me a minute, I'm just gonna go drill some holes. Alright, what I discovered, I didn't need my pieces that I drilled and welded nuts in and all. I didn't need them. When I set the seat in here and I bolted it down to the place that I put the nut, it landed right on this, the back of the seat rail landed right on this crossbar. So I'm going to do the same thing with it. I'm going to drill, I marked my spot. I'm going to drill them out and I'm going to weld in a nut on each one of those, and then I'll use this across here to do the fourth bolt down position. I'll drill a hole through this bar, 2 holes through here, bolt it to the floor, and when I get it, I'm gonna bolt the seat in and mark it on this side, and then I'm gonna do that side, mark it on this side, then I have to pull the seats back out and all that. So let me drill these out real quick and weld some nuts in them, and that'll give me 3 attachment points right there, and then all I have to worry about is this centerpiece here. So here we go. I'm going to pour a little water in this hole because that wood body mount is under there, and I don't want to set that wood on fire if I don't have to. So I'm going to set that, let that soak just a second. Is my floor uneven? That don't make no sense. I see. That's gonna be too thick. That's like ½ inch depth right there. Where's my tape measure? Glasses on so I can see. Sure enough, that's ½ inch. Okay. A little more than ½ inch. It's about 5/8. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to shim that up. Let me get this drilled out and my thing's welded in. Okay, see about getting that bolted in, getting these, well, let's see, maybe I'll bolt this one in and see what I gotta do about setting up something in the center there, because this is gonna be too thick. So let me figure out what I'm gonna do, and we'll figure that out. Hey, okay, here's what I got going on. I got my holes laid in. I put the seat in on the other side, and I couldn't get the seat to slide back. And I'm using 3/8 bolts. And for some reason, on the back rail on these inside, when you put the bolt in there and you tighten it down, it this is too tall, so it wouldn't let it slide back all the way. So what I ended up doing is I went and got a 5/16, and I'm going to drill the top of this out a little bit so that shoulder fits, to make sure the shoulder doesn't catch up. And these work and allow the seat to slide all the way back. But I set the seat in, and I made me some little bongs to screw to, and I welded them to the floor. And what this will do right here is, if he wants to change seats or whatever down the road, he can just cut these off if he doesn't need them. So what I'm fixing to do now, I guess, is try and put the seats in and tighten them down. And the rails don't go far enough forward or far enough backward for me to get a socket on it real good. So here we go. We're gonna fight it. So stick with me. That's what I was talking about, and having no tolerances. And there's no room to work in this thing. Can't even get a socket or a ratchet in there. That's the problem. That barely fits. Okay, now I need to go from the underside to get that bolted in. This side's gonna be absolutely fantastic with fire, I can tell. Okay, I'll get the underside one in a minute. All right, let's see if I can get this one put in now. What the heck, huh? Well, this is gonna be tight. I didn't realize it was gonna be that tight. All right, now let me see if I can get the bolts tightened down. Man, oh, where's my wrenches at? Now, let's see. Ain't no room. Let's see if I can get this. Where's that? No room to get a socket or ratchet or nothing in this thing. So. And I know I'm gonna have to pull the dadgum seats out again at some point. Got to be an easier way to do this. What did I do with my socket? There it is, right there. Let's see if I can get this in there. Nope. Nope, that's not gonna go. Nope. I have to do it the slow, tedious way here. Barely enough room to get the head of this, the end of that socket, the end of that end wrench on this, in between the sides of the rail. And it turns about 1/8 of a turn. Come on. It's got to go better than that. Come on. Get in there. Okay. I'm not going to tighten that back one down from underneath. Alright, what is the deal now? What in the world is going on? Man. Pain in the buttocks. In the buttocks. That was tight. Okay, that was tight. All right. Let's see. Make room in here. Get all my stuff out of the way. Get all of this out the way. Man. All right, let's get in here and see. Okay, it's all the way back. Can I lean it back just a little bit more? One more notch. There's got a little bit of room off the window. Oh boy, Mark. My buddy's like 6'4". Maybe 6'5". I'm sure he'll correct me when the time comes. But let me show you what this looks like. Look at right here. There's got to be an accelerator pedal. And I don't know if you can see. Hang on just a second. Let me set this up where we can see it. Alright. Alright. My knees are bent. I'm about 6 foot tall. There's got to be a an accelerator pedal right there. Okay, my leg is against the shifter over here, and you got to come all the way back here to push the brake. And I don't know what size foot he's got, but I wear a 12 wide. So yeah, this ought to be interesting, because he is, I can't remember, 6'4", 6'5". He's tall. He's real tall. And just so you can see, these things are close. I cannot put my hand between the cushions. All right, well, I think, because I fought with this so much, I've had enough today. And I think that's going to be it with this video for getting the seats in. You know, I had made big hopes about steering column and all of that stuff, but as rough as things are going and the problems that I keep running into, I think I am going to do one thing at a time on video. Now, we had the issue with the alternator and the bracket and all that stuff. He has decided and has already ordered a new water pump and another bracket kit, set, whatever. And he ordered a new fuel pump. So when that comes in, I'll do a video trying to get the alternator hooked up. Next video we're going to try and put the steering column in this thing. I'm just hoping it all goes, because it's could be problematic. And then the other problem we found is he bought a really nice radiator, and I'll show that to you when the time comes. But the it's got electric fan and shroud on it, and guess what? There's not room for. Yeah, electric fan and shroud. So we got to try and move all that to the front side of the radiator. And I'm hoping if we move that to the front side of the radiator, it still has clearance for the grill. So, one problem to the next. But I think next video we're going to do steering column. So, until the next time, hey, thank you for watching. Thanks for coming back. Hit that like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And do the comment thing. You know, I try and answer them all if I can. You know, keep your head up. I got to keep my head up on this thing. Keep your head up. Don't look down on yourself. Don't look down on others. Man, if you keep your head up, you can get some stuff done. I truly believe that. Get out there and work on these old rides. As you can tell, as happens with me pretty often, it can be frustrating. But in the end, it is well worth saving these old rides. So get out there and save one. So until next time, bye.